Hey y'all, it's Gaming Granny coming at you. Trigger warning. This is a violent video game. If that is not your cup of tea, just give me a thumbs up and slip on out the door. Or some of my subscribers tell me that they will just sit somewhere else where they can't see the actual screen, but they can listen to my voice. So if that's something you want to do, that's cool too. Either way, hit that thumbs up for me, okay? I never want this channel to grow huge. It's just for me to help with my mind function and so forth. Alright, disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do not hate or send anything nasty to anyone I talk about on this channel. Ever. Do your own research. Do your due diligence. And make up your own mind. Okay? Now, trigger warning. If you are triggered by CA or grooming, this is not going to be the video for you. Okay? Alright, let's do some shout outs. Oh wait, let me welcome all y'all. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here 100 times, welcome back. And if you are from my old school RuneScape clan, the Frog Army, leave us a thumbs up and a comment in the questions so I know you were here. Also, my email is always in the boxes down at the bottom, along with written trigger warnings based upon what we are going to be discussing. Now, oh, and if you don't know how you got here, stick around a little bit. You might decide you like it. You don't know. But, like I said, if you don't want to subscribe, don't worry about it. I'm not asking for any patronage or any of that stuff. I don't have none of that stuff. If I ever have to get that stuff, then I'm going to think about retiring. So, we're just going to not think about that right now. But if you want to see a little old lady play video games and quite honestly sometimes get her hind end kicked, this might be fun for you. Okay, now today's topic is going to be kind of a tough one, and I hope I can keep it together. And oh, hold on, I gotta do the shout outs first. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. I do that from time to time. My first shout out is to OK Rick, and it's OK Ricky, but he edited the channel name. It's OKAYRICKK. Sean and Mel. And these are mostly right now reactioners. That's what they mainly do. Yeah. So and we'll go ahead and do Jamel, aka Jamal, for the other one. Okay, now we're going to get ready to talk about this topic, and I really hate that I have to even talk about it. Okay? Now, I am going to attempt to do this without putting too much information out, okay? But I wanted to talk about this because I thought that it was important. Just like, you know, my son every year, he's like, why do you still watch this 9/11 stuff every year, all of it? I mean, it's okay to watch one or two documentaries, but you don't have to watch everything that was ever filmed about it. But he knows me, and he knows I pretty much do have to watch everything that's made about it. But that's not all, because is one that is really bothering me, and for more than one reason. Okay, this story comes from Columbus, Ohio, by the way. There was a little 11-year-old little girl who her father found out that she was taking naked photos of herself to send to a friend who asked her to take them online. And this friend ended up being an adult. So she was being groomed at 11. Now, this is, you know, why on earth it's so much different being a parent these days than it was even when I raised my kids. My kids, I raised them as Gen Xers, and they're not Gen Xers, but they're right at the very tail end of the whole thing. No, maybe not. I don't know. Anyways. They were, with me being sick and them so young, they learned to be self-sufficient, and they definitely knew how to do what they needed to do as far as cleaning and cooking when the time came for them to leave the nest. Now, this 11-year-old girl, and I don't know who this adult person was. I don't know how old this adult person was. I don't know if they were 16, 18, 21, whatever. But they talked this little girl into taking pictures of herself with no clothes on, and sending them over the internet to the adult that was asking her to do this stuff. Now, her daddy finds out. So her dad calls the Columbus Police Department, and he explains the situation and explains that he would like for them to come out and talk to her about why she shouldn't be doing what she's doing. So they send a cop to this man's house, and this man's thinking, you know, they're going to tell her he's grooming you and this is all bad stuff right here, you know. But instead, when he got there, when the female police officer got there to his house, he started to talk to her, and he stepped out on the porch with her for a minute and kind of closed the door behind him. I think he was trying to keep the kids from hearing, you know, that were in the house or whatever, because he wanted her to talk to this girl and explain grooming and why she can't talk to people on the internet like that and give them pictures of her body. As the dad steps onto the porch and is talking to her, she says, well, you know that your daughter could be arrested too, right? And he's like, my daughter? She's the victim. And the policewoman told him, yeah, but she also was producing child porn and sending it. So that would be that could end up being a couple felonies at 11. And here's my problem with it. She's 11. She doesn't know. The adult that's telling her to do all this crap is the one that should be in trouble, in my opinion. I don't understand why they wouldn't have just talked to the girl and given her a very, very stern and stark message and warning, and then, you know, if it happened again, yes, by all means, then she needs to go to family court, she needs to go to juvie, she needs to do something. But if it only happens this once, and the cop talks to her sternly, and she learns her lesson from it, isn't that what we want? I don't think we want to be locking kids up for being groomed. I mean, I really don't. I mean, how could you say that the child should know that it's wrong when they have an adult telling them that it's fine to do it? So, you know, and that's my problem with the story is they're trying to punish the victim too. Well, punishing the victim ain't gonna get you nowhere. Because you know what's gonna happen? People's gonna stop reporting stuff. People's gonna stop calling you. They're not gonna call you to have you talk to their kid, knowing that when you get there, you may change your mind and decide to arrest them and you and anyone else. That's part of the problem with these sickos now. Because nobody wants to stick up for the victims, and that's why the victims don't come forward in these things. Why come forward and talk about something that's so painful and so personal if you know that whoever's coming doesn't really want to talk to you about it? And whatever's going on, they don't really seem to know what's going on or give a crap. So I just don't understand why we would be more focused on punishing the child victim over the adult groomer and abuser. Now, if you can tell me why that is, because I'm telling you now, we have got to get this crap under control. And what I mean is, we have got to get this child abuse and grooming stuff, it's got to go. For one, these kids at 11 years old have no idea how much trouble that they can get in, not only legally, but I'm talking, you know, physically and mentally, because they took pictures of themselves for an adult that begged them to do it and taught them how to do it and how to send it. You think an 11-year, well, they can usually figure it out. So I guess I can't say, do you think it was all her ideal? But, because some of them would be smart enough. But not as many as we see being groomed, abused, and killed. And it's a shame that that's all we care about our kids in this country. It's a flat out disgrace what we allow to happen in this country. Now, what's to say that if the dad hadn't called and hadn't wanted the adult punished, what are the odds that this person is grooming other children as well? I'm pretty sure he's probably got a photo album or something. I would think that he would be, you know, wanting a lot of that kind of thing. So what do y'all think? Do you think the Columbus police were on the money, or do you think that the lady cop should have known better? And do you think that we have to punish these children when it's the adults that are grooming them and getting ready and trying to traffic them? So I really don't see why are we blaming the victim. And I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot less reports of domestic and child abuse if this is how we're going to do. If they're afraid that they're going to get taken away from their family or go to jail or prison or whatever it is that they want to do with these children, I guarantee you that reports of such will drop to almost nothing. For real. Because, and I've seen it time and again, because what good is it doing them to tell when they know all that you're going to do is punish them and not the adult? Now, if you're a parent and your kid has a cell phone, I recommend that you get the adult protective software and learn how to use it, because it because this happens more often than you think. And it's been happening since the beginning of internets and cell phones. And an 11-year-old is not savvy to the ways of the world, and I guarantee you it would be very easy to get one to do whatever an adult says. And I'll tell you part of the reason why that is. Because if you've raised your kids properly with the right morals, they have been taught not to disrespect or backmouth adults. So an adult preying on them is, you know, it would work wonders on some kids, because their parents have taught them to be polite and to not be, you know, whatever you want to call it. But this is a very big problem, and to be honest, it's been a problem for, I don't know how many generations, but generations and generations. And some of it is my generation's fault, because we were before the internet and before video gaming was able to be, you know, two people could play the same game at the same time in two different parts of the world. We didn't have all that. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have any of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, and as far as I know, growing up, nobody took pictures of themselves to get developed and send to people, or so this is a new twist on it. Usually if you suffered CSA, it was in your home. It was usually in the family somewhere. And I don't mean it has to be immediate family either. It could be, you know, cousins, whatever. But now They can talk to anyone online, playing a game, be in a chat room, and I truly believe that even the savviest of kids could get caught up. And once they've got pictures of these kids, what are they doing with them? Are they trading them with their friends like baseball cards or what? Or are they using them to know who they think could make them some good money on the black market? Because I'm telling you now, this has got child trafficking written all over it. It would be very easy to traffic a child that you've groomed and has been sending you nude pictures of itself at 11 years old. That's just awful to contemplate, ain't it? As a mom and a grandma, it just literally makes me sick. And I'm telling you now, if things keep up the way they are and the way this Columbus police officer acted, and in my opinion, it's only worse because she was a female cop. Okay? So, do we think that the cop should have been paying more attention to the child that was being groomed? I mean, she could have told her that, did you know that the pictures you took are illegal? And that the person that you sent them to doesn't care that they're illegal? That's what he wants. He wants to sell you to his friends and let them do bad things with you. So, I know, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little wound up. I'm trying not to, but it upsets me so because my generation, we stayed quiet and didn't let on that we knew anything that we knew, pretty much. And for their part, our parents really didn't teach us much as far as, people touching you or trying to get you to do A, B, C, or D or any of that kind of thing. So, my generation, we just couldn't or wouldn't put ourselves out there. And after the way that this 11-year-old's father was told that she could be put in prison, I have to wonder if it was better because we didn't say nothing. But back then, it used to be, what happens in the house stays in the house in a lot of places. But that doesn't guarantee safety either. So, should the penalties be as astronomical for the children that are groomed and put in these positions by adults? Or should we be worried about the adults and making sure that the kids are safe, but know that what they were doing was wrong, even though it was an adult telling them to do it? It wasn't right. Now, you know, y'all just be careful with your youngins, okay? I don't want to see or hear about anybody's youngins getting hurt or being treated like this little girl was treated, okay? She has been through so much already, and her poor dad was just trying to get through to her how dangerous it is, because you could be taken and trafficked all around the world. All he had to do was get a fake passport with a birth date and a name, and he could have took her anywhere, and eventually, well, not even eventually, I mean, soon as he got her wherever he was wanting to take her, you know, chances are that there would be men there that were there to you know, spend time with her and pay for the privilege of it. And it's so sad to even think that that kind of stuff is going on still. So I just, I'm kind of at a loss right now at this point, because all I want to see is these children protected. I don't want to see this where a cop comes to the house. And the dad had explained the situation before the cops ever were even called. Well, no, as they were being called, I reckon. Because I'm sure it was dispatch that he was explaining it to. And I'm sure it came up that they wanted the child talked to. So I'm thinking that at least they should know why they were going there.
Proximity mine planted.
So let me know what you think about this topic. And if you're a parent, just please keep an eye on what your kids are doing. Because once they've got them pictures taken and put out there like that, there is not much you can do to try to get them back and to make their identity unknown. So please bear that in mind, all of you who have children and grandchildren. And I know giving them a cell phone is a big deal. And usually it happens in the tween years, between 11 and 14. I'm going to say the closer you are to the higher end of that would be the best. Because, but I get it. Sometimes you have to give them one because they have sports and so forth. And if the game gets rained out or whatever, even the ones in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grades need a phone at that point to call you and tell you, oh yeah, our practice was canceled, so-and-so's mom's taking me home, or I need your dad to come get me, or can you see if grandma can pick me up since you're still at work? You know, there's a lot of things to think about. But talk to your children. When they ask questions, answer them honestly. As honestly as you can for their age level. And then every time they ask something new, just keep being honest. And not only talk to them about internet safety and taking pictures and sending them places. You know, you need to talk to them about what's proper, what's not proper, if they ever feel weird or gross because of someone else, to let you know. And there's just so many things that, you know, as a parent, we have to pay attention because this world is just, I mean, come on, y'all. Can an 11-year-old victim really be a criminal? I don't see how. And if so, that is one of the worst things I've heard. And I know it would literally make me sick if it was my kid. Or grandkid even. But, you know, we need to make sure that they know what the parts of their bodies are called. And not some cutesy little name, neither. The real name for stuff. Because if they don't know their own body, how are they going to know what parts are private and what parts aren't? I mean, come on. They have to have that knowledge, y'all. We didn't get that knowledge. And there's been many in my generation who have been taken advantage of or abused or whatever. But we did not go around talking about it because we were always told, shh, keep that quiet. Don't let people know that because they might think bad of you. You know, there's nothing like blaming the victim, right? Victim shaming, I think it's called. And again, I'm going to leave I'm going to say this. Do not send hate to anyone over this message. But if you have something you want to tell me about this image, about our discussion today, by all means, leave it in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Send me an email. I'll tell you the email, but it's also going to be in one of the boxes down below. It's Gaming Granny Rocks, all lowercase, at gmail.com. And I pray that the good Lord keeps you and yours safe, and that not too many more have to go through this, these situations. This penalize groomers better than we're handling it right now, because I don't see how blaming the victim is going to pan out in any way that's good. And all you're doing is setting that kid up for a lifetime of therapy and hurt and whatever else, drugs, alcohol, whatever they get into. Because I can tell you from my own friends that I know and acquaintances, it's important for us to have these discussions, because nobody wants to see a child hurt. But once they're hurt, or once they've been groomed and taken advantage of, there's, you know, you're gonna have to, they're gonna need some physical, they're gonna need some mental health, yeah, they're gonna need some mental health later in life. And I know in my generation, the only people that really went to counseling were like AA and those kind of places. Alright, well, God bless y'all, and I hope that everything is well with you and yours, and I'll catch you in the next one. Laters.